Who am I? That is, who am I? I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer of big dreams. Dreams of intensity, dreams of immensity. That's who I am. Which are you? Are you a doubter or a doer? That's the question. And I set myself tasks impossible so that I draw myself out of any comfort zone as we wrestle with these persistent and trenchant problems that trouble and bedevil our country. Who are we? I'm happy to be here with you today. I'm not here to give a speech. I hate speeches. I'm here to engage with you, to chat with you, in instances to take you into my confidence so we understand what we are about. We may just define ourselves properly. Who are we? I made certain jarring pronouncements. I said, by the end of this year, Botswana Railways will be profitable. I look at the leader of the opposition. He's a skeptic. Maybe he's a doubter. And he engaged with the minister in Parliament, and I listened and watched. Asked the minister, when last did Botswana Railways make profit? I think he said over 10 years ago. Yes. Do you think realistically and reasonably it can make profit? He did that. He wasn't certain. There were equivocations and vacillations on his part. He wiggled somehow through some fudged answer. I called him and I set him down. I said, when I said Botswana Railways will be profitable, I wasn't negotiating. I was declaring something that must happen. And your job is to make it happen. And he made the solemn commitment then that he would make it happen. And it will happen. Why? Because Botswana Railways is sitting on contracts that it is unable to fulfill. Revenue. You see trucks ferrying loads of cement and other product along our roads, damaging the roads. It tells you that there's a lot of demand for bulk transportation, and the cheapest is rail. What is the problem then? What is the problem? It's not a problem of there's no market, there's no business, the business is there. What is the problem? Practices, processes, institutions, sometimes even personalities. Not a very difficult problem to resolve. Botswana Railways must be profitable, it shall be profitable. Botswana Meat Commission will be profitable. Air Botswana will be profitable. And you know what I might just do? I might just send you there. I might just send you there. You seem to have a penchant for rescuing ailing entities. You might have to deploy those attributes where they are needed most. We will talk about it. Said, I'm here to take you into my confidence. There's nothing to hide. Melka Cabral says, tell no lies, claim no easy victories. That's what I try and do. Loyal to those principles unto death. So we are here today to shine the spotlight on ourselves in the aviation industry. Difficult, sometimes unpleasant process. The poet William Butler Yeats says, it takes more courage to probe the depths of your own vulnerabilities, to probe yourself, to examine yourself, than it does for a soldier to fight on the battlefield. We are here to do that difficult, seemingly impossible task of engaging in a rigorous, painful self-examination, so that when we emerge from these engagements after the next day and a half or 2 days, we have a critical self-inventory. We've determined what is wrong with how we are doing things and how better to do them. That's why we are here. And so we need to resolve a number of challenges. The one relating to Air Botswana, there's going to be an unbundling. Air Botswana, the airline, separate. Civil Aviation Authority of Botswana, the regulator. And a third aspect, which is the management of the airports. 3, civil aviation, regulating, Air Botswana, an airline alongside others competing, management of the airports. That now forces us to summon investments into infrastructure development in the airports, chief amongst which is the Maung Airport. We are well on our way. We are at an advanced stage, in fact. We have all but secured investments for that purpose. Not just for this airport, but for others as well. Why? Because we are strategically positioned, located as a country. You want to go east, you want to go north, you want to go south, you want to go west. Botswana is at the center. So we have the advantage of strategic positionality as a country. Why are we not taking full advantage of it? It's a huge, huge opportunity. It's an advantage. And so we need to achieve the highest levels of connectivity, because in relation to our position on the continent, we have no competition. Who are we? Are we masters? Are we giants among our peers? Or ineffectual pygmies who clumsily block their own path? We've been the latter, unfortunately. We must be candid. We must acknowledge the errors that we've committed thus far. The better for us to recommit ourselves to correcting them. It's important. We must not meet here to flatter and fudge statistics and keep reciting figures, because one scholar said there are 3 kinds of lies. Says there are lies, damned lies, and statistics. Sometimes we marshal statistics to flatter and deceive ourselves. We need to be very honest about these and understand that we are dealing with real issues, interests of creatures of flesh and blood, the unnumbered throng, the masses of our people who expect from us serious answers to their challenges. So the unbundling is in the offing. The legislation will be tabled, hopefully, at the next sitting of Parliament. And we call upon all members of Parliament to actively engage on these matters so that we pass the legislation.
Wow, hello Africa. I have no doubt in my mind that the President of Botswana, His Excellency Advocate Duma Boko, will transform Botswana from where it is to a promised land. Of course, he has a great duty to transform Botswana. We know politicians sometimes facing challenges from opposition leaders, sometimes sabotage from within. So President Boko has a great task, and I'm very happy he's committed himself that he wants impossible. So he wants to work with impossible. So these things will come into reality. So we may ask ourselves, why in many African countries or states or nations, we are using road transport, I mean trucks, we are using trucks instead of railway. While we know that railway is very cheap, if we can invest in railway, we can lower the production cost as well as transportation cost. But why we are not much concentrating on building railway, but we are more concentrating in building roads? One day I was listening President Museveni when he was speaking to World Bank. He told them that you World Bank, you come to Africa, you sponsor these NGOs, you sponsor some meetings, but you are not ready to sponsor good things for Africans like railway. Why? Because if you sponsor railway, Africans to build railway, it means you are going to lower the cost of transportation. You are going to lower the cost of production. So Africans will benefit from their resources. So by not building railway, it means we are increasing the cost of production through high cost of transportation. And Africans are buying goods at high price compared to other places because of transportation cost that cause also high price in production. You can see. So I know in Africa, have done my own research that businessmen and women in this continent are engaging much with government, and they're doing business with government, but they're using people who are in the government to sabotage and to make sure that things is not going to happen, because these giants, businessmen and women who are giants, are those who own trucks. And of course, they can say they have created jobs of drivers and something like that. But look, the condition of our roads. These trucks, as President Boko said, destroying our roads. But if we can use railway to transport goods and products, we can preserve our roads, we can protect our roads, and also we can lower the production cost and transportation cost, where Africans can get the goods at low price. But because of these businessmen and women are not led to give up, and because of personal interests, sometimes African nations or governments are not building roads or railways. I fear to speak this thing because sometimes you may think that maybe I'm a racist, but let me tell you, if you look in many African countries, maybe except Nigeria. But in many African countries, those who own the means of production, who control economy, are not black people. That's why I'm saying maybe except Nigeria. Do your own research. You find it is whether Indian or it is African maybe, but it's not black. It has relation with either Arab country or Europeans or Indians and recently Chinese. So in many African nations, these go do your own research, find uh, maybe top 10 richest people in Kenya, richest men or people in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Botswana. Do your own research. You will find that many of them are not Africans by nature. Are Africans because maybe sometimes they have relation with Africans, but by nature, many of them are not Africans. I'm not a racist. I'm telling you the truth. Whether they're Indians or they are Arab related or they are Europeans or Chinese, as I said, and other nations. But to find black people, it is difficult, except one country, Nigeria, where you can have maybe top 10 Nigerians, black people, I mean. So these people controlling the means of production, controlling the means of transportation. That's why sometimes they sabotage railway, they sabotage infrastructures for them to get more profit. If you try to imagine yourself that why Africa has oil and yet we are buying oil from Arab countries, where African oil are going. If you try to ask where our oil are going, oil in Nigeria, oil in Angola, oil in Mozambique, oil in Uganda, where this oil is going, who controlling our oil? So do a small research, you'll get the answer. So coming back to what President Boko has said, it's okay and it's good for Botswana to improve aviation, to connect people from one place to another. Of course, as you heard, um, has a good geographical position, Botswana in the center, where it is very easy to go to south, to go to east, to go to north, to go to west. So all in all, it needs investment. It needs investment from our minds. You know, president can have a good vision, but those who are acting and helping president can have a different vision. That's the problem of Africa, that we have leaders who are so visionary, but people, followers, are not visionary. Of course, they need to have also at least a quarter of the vision of the president to see that these things must happen the way we see things happening in Mali, in Botswana, I mean in Burkina Faso. You see, so if all of us, we can have a clear mind what we want. Let's say Botswana, we want railway. All of us, we need to be committed to make sure that within 5 years of President Boko in power, railway must be there. People must use trains for transportation. It is possible. It is possible. And that's why a few days ago I said, if there's something that we need to clear water, we need to clear the issue of water, issue of food, we need to clear the issue of electricity, energy. If we are so committed as a nation, as a continent, we must make sure that maybe these 10 years we need to focus on eradicating shortage of water to make sure that we have water supply. Water source is not a problem. We have water bodies almost everywhere. The problem is infrastructures to take those, that water from those resources into the community. You see, maybe 10 years to come, let us improve railway or infrastructure. We can say maybe infrastructure, it costs a lot of money or amount. Let us maybe give 20 years, that for 20 years we need this and that. The issue of infrastructure will not be a problem. If we can plan like that, and all of us, we can have a clear mind, and we can put these things into our education system, because we know that these young people who have maybe these children that have 7, 8, 9 to 10 years, 20 years to come, they will become a leader. So they need to understand. We need to put these things into our curriculums so that they grow when they know that when they become a leader, they have to fulfill this dream. When they become someone, they need to fulfill this dream. But we are waiting leaders to come and to do for us, to think for us. These things we need to put into documents. And everyone who is coming, he or she must do that task. By doing so, in 50 years, 40 years, or 60 years, the country or the continent will be moving forward. Right now, we are struggling. We are still stucking. We are not moving in the right direction. You find in one place things are going okay, in the other place are going not okay. So I think we need to put plans and to think properly, of course. We need to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. So, brothers and sisters, the aim is to share this important video from President Duma Boko, the president of Botswana, who is so committed to bring changes and to take Botswana from where it is to a promised land. After that, brothers and sisters, if you have something to share with us, please do so through the comment section. And if you are new in this platform, make sure that you subscribe to join the big family of Make Africa Great, and also like the video and share this video to other Africans. After that, let me say thank you, have a nice time. See you next time in other video. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.